What's up YouTube? Eugene here, and I've got an unboxing from Les Indemodables, and this literally showed up from Paris last night, and although it was shipped, it looks like it was brought over by Donkey, who played soccer with it all the way over, but I'm glad it made it intact. As long as nothing is leaking, I'm okay. But this is a fairly new brand that's been getting noticed lately, and it's been brought to my attention late last year by fragrance reviewer Houdini, who just randomly messaged me one morning. I'll just rip off the band-aid and said, "Hey, have you heard of this brand, Les blah, 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 blah." I was like, what? Slow down. Like, I couldn't pronounce the name. I'm not French speaking, so it was all rather strange to me. And I said, no, I have not. But then, you know, like any fragrance enthusiast geek, I went and I quickly looked them up, and the bottles and the packaging and the presentation and the logo looked all very familiar to me. Like, the name wasn't familiar, but I started to notice, you know, the brand appearing on social media and rapidly, quickly. So this is from Sens Unique. Thank you, Sens Unique. So if you're from Canada, there should have been about $150 of duties on here. They kind of helps, like, you know what I mean. Yeah, so the brand is appearing more and more on social media. So there's the packaging. It doesn't look like they come cello wrapped. Okay, so that is Vanille Havane. This is the one I was really curious about, Vanille Havane. And this is Iris Pearl. I did pick up 4 of these, and for a good reason. I think my friend also said, knowing your taste and your like for Frederic Malle, I think you will like this brand. They really concentrate on like high quality naturals. They're really well made. So I looked them up and I was like, oh, Antoine Lee, interesting, very interesting. Rose JAMAL. I like a lot of Antoine's work. MUSC de SABLES, but I'll get into that in another video. And here's some samples that I had requested. Let's see what samples they sent. Perfume me, smell me. Scented ceramic. Oh, it looks like Sens Unique has their own perfume. All I smell is ceramic. Oh, it's probably just for spraying. So it is a ceramic piece used that as a, a blotter or a sample, and that you would store in your drawer. So here we have Neanderthal Light. Neanderthal. Okay, we'll have a look at that. Fragment, Vanilla Dry. Not sure what any of this is. All right, so here we have Black Pure Distance, which I did request for a reason. Queer Cavalier by Parfums MDCI, which I did request. Divin Enfant by Etat Libre d'Orange, which I did request. Abisse by Noam Paris. I'm not sure what this is. They must have just thrown that in. We'll have a look at that. Pure Distance Rubicona. They must have thrown that in as well. Wow, there's a lot of samples in here. Madama Butterfly. Have a look at that. And Latsarin. Not sure what this is either. Must be a new niche brand. And oh, look at this. They have their own blotters, which are cool. So thank you so much, Sens Unique. Let's have a look at, I want to look at Vanille Havane. And I have a special attachment to tobacco. So this is a vanilla tobacco fragrance. And my attachment is back home where my parents were born in, you know, the outskirts of Croatia and Bosnia-Herzegovina, kind of right on the border there. It was actually Herzegovina. There, my grandparents ran a tobacco farm. So I would go there as a young boy, as a child. My mother would take me on vacation, and I would watch the process of tobacco from, you know, planting, growing, harvesting, cropping, knitting it, you know, knitting it on a long line like this. It was like a 3-foot line. I would sit there with my grandparents and I would knit tobacco, green tobacco leaves. They were huge. You know, they're, at the time, they were probably the size of my torso. And, you know, from knitting, we would go and hang them under a tarp where they would dry. So I watched the whole process, and I've always wanted to recapture that, like a tobacco, or find a great tobacco fragrance. And through my journey, I don't think I've really come across anything that's really captured me. You know, there's some great tobacco fragrances, but they're all either overly sweet or somewhat pretentious, or, you know, Pure Havane to me is a little bit goopy. It's fructosey. I don't, you know, it doesn't really do a whole lot for me. It's just overly sweet. Versace the Dreamer, it's very dry and harsh. I like Dreamer. It is very green tobacco, but also like cigarette tobacco. There's no, I think so far Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille has been really the best interpretation for me. Look at this juice color. And there you can see, I don't know if you can see Vanille Havane. So I'm expecting, you know, vanilla tobacco. Sweet. I hope it's not overly sweet, but look at the color of that. And I think that's all from naturals. I don't know if there's any coloring added to this, but let's give this a whirl. And I'm probably gonna stain my furniture just by spraying it in the air. Oh, wow. It is sweet. But I get cacao right off the top. Cacao, animalic, hay, clove, leathery. It is very dark. It is very leathery and smoky and warm. But there's something purring and growling in the background. It almost feels like, you know, there's something green in here. It's like an immortelle, or I can definitely pick up vanilla, like dry vanilla. It's not the vanilla that's, yeah, the tobacco's coming through. Oh, it's sweet, but it's got that underlying thing that fragrance lovers love, like that darkness. It's got a lot of darkness and depth to this. Smoky. Oh, there's got to be some clove in here. Cinnamon. It's spicy. I can pick up some cinnamon. Oh, man. Wow. It's so dry, but it's got sweetness. It's got depths and layers to it. Oh, it's strange in a way. I feel like there's some coumarin coming from the base, like a really high quality coumarin. This isn't commercial at all. This is the farthest thing from commercial. It feels very niche to me. It's dry and leathery and spicy and very dark. It has something animalic. It's not castoreum. I don't think it's civet. a little bit boozy, like rum. But it's got this really nice dryness to it. And the sweetness is like, it's sweet, but it's not overly sweet. It's like sweet at a very acceptable level. It's not sweet like a Pure Havane or I think it's more comparable to Tobacco Vanille than Pure Havane. Like it's I definitely get clove and cinnamon. But it's warm and slightly resinous, and it's interesting. It has this really nice animalic growl to it that I can't put my finger on. And I'm trying to think what is it, what animalics they could have used in here. Interesting. I'm not going to open up the rest of these. I'll save them. I don't want to make this longer than I necessarily have to, but I will come back in another video and talk about the rest of these. I am really excited for smelling these. But this is, you know, this is more niche-y than it is designer-ish. And you can tell, you know, there is it feels like it has a lot of high quality naturals and synthetics to this. Doesn't smell cheap whatsoever. Let us know in the comments if you've smelt this or if you're familiar with Les Indemodables. If you've not heard the name, you have now. And I assume the name is only going to get louder and louder as time passes. Interesting, because the name Les Indemodables means timeless, and I love that. I love that they're getting away from commercialism. I think the brand really is about, you know, against a lot of that commercialism. The family spent, you know, decades in the perfume industry, in the business, and now they run a sourcing company. They travel the world, they source raw materials, they extract raw materials, they provide naturals and raw materials to perfumers and makers. So I think they spend a lot of time. The husband of this brand, Remy, so it's a brand run by Remy and Valerie, the husband now, he has his own brand. He studied perfuming for a little bit with Olivier Polge, head perfumer from Chanel. And, you know, they've done some training in perfumery and stuff like that. So they've got a lot of experience in the perfume industry. So there you go. Let me know what you think. If you've smelt these, we'll see you in the comments down below. Drop a comment, drop a like, and we'll see you very soon.